Watson.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Faking the give. Now Watson. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 4 catches, 51 yards.
That was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit. And this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be taken at the 13. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
2 yards, good enough for a first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And going deep for Hill. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, D. Check 9, check 9.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, a run from White. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The run on 3rd and long, so I guess waving the white flag a little bit.
Yeah, and I think sometimes teams are so committed to running the football that they'll take a chance, even in a long yardage situation, to let them know on the other side, this is what we're going to be about today. In this case, they didn't get a first down, but if you're thinking along with them, hey, they might be committed to running it all game long.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Yo. Run left.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
but drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, here's White. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. This is White on the screen. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Jaguars will take over at their 20-yard line. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, Wilson. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 35.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Play action. Now Wilson. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Such a valuable commodity to have a tight end who can run and get open. How about what he just did there? Worked his way from right to left across the field and found his way free.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Point after here coming up. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Now, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. They start the drive with White. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and inches, Watson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now a carry for White. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Watson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver. NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of legs.
On 2nd down. It's Sanders, and he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
From midfield now, here's Wilson, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field on an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and that'll bring up second down. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him the correction his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. The Jaguars on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Gun. 14, got it.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the Colts come after it, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And the Colts are in for the touchdown.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
A try here for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So the very rare blocked punt, scooped, and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Jags.
95. Alert.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 3rd down. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd, so a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
You have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Wilson now has hit on just 7 of 17 passes, 41%. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, and he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Intended for DJ Chark. Incomplete. It's 3rd down and 10.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. He can run for it, and he will. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts' 41-yard line.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No. Tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Here's Wilson. This is the tight end Fant. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Miles Sanders out of the backfield. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that is sack number. Six now for him on the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Come get some. Come get some. Come on here.
A final shot before the break. Watson on the catch. It's Crowder. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, second down.
Deeper.
From the 44, Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Starlatulele able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up?
On third down, Wilson. He is going to find Hill here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end. And now it's third down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
To throw on third down, Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. It's complete, James White. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Now it's Watson. That's complete to White.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This will be taken at the 10. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll go again with Sanders. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Four down. Switch. 36 power.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. This is White on the screen. And a nice spin into some open field. And now nothing but green ahead of him.
An eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run with Sanders. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And this one into the hands of DJ Chark. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Back now in Indianapolis. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
23 yards, the final tally. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Out of the gun, Watson. He's got Green. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 5. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On second down now, it's Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 36, Wilson. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run. It's Sanders. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy. Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson, that one complete. He finds Shark. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And he'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Play action. It's Wilson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars have retaken the lead. So here we go now as the Jaguars will go for 2. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught by Sanders. And he will not get there. He comes up short. And they're unable to push this lead to a field goal as it'll remain a 1-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw is Watson. Goes underneath here to White. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watson. And that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, Sanders. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Victory all but assured now as they take a knee here, and they're going to escape with a 1-point victory. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I tell you, these division games never for the faint of heart, but they come through with a tight victory here on the road.
And you find yourself working harder in a game like this too, don't you?
Yeah,
because you got to stay with it, right? You got to stay with it. You got to stay locked in. It's our type of a game. And you just mentioned it. Division game, on the road, tight, and they find a way to win it. Way to hunker down, as my old coach used to say, and find your way through.
So for the Jags, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
There ain't no time, is it? Playing skills, you did.